Hi, this is Kat with Beadaholique, and today I'm going to show you how to make the Harmony Bangle Trio kits. These are exclusive kits that you can find at Beadaholique.com. Now, what I have here is I have the 3 different color variations. I have a silver, a gold, and a copper. In this video, I'm going to be using the gold color variation, but please know that it is the same instructions for all 3 color variations. So let's get started. These are the 3 bracelets that you'll be able to make when you get this exclusive kit. I have one featuring a color block pattern with a charm, one that is the dagger beads, and another that is a mixed version, also featuring a charm. So when you get your kit, you'll get a tube of dagger beads, you'll get your seed beads, which will come mixed, and I'll show you how to separate them in a moment. You'll get 2 charms, 2 jump rings, and you'll get 3 pre-cut coils of memory wire. And this one comes with the gold memory wire. To complete this kit, you'll need a pair of round nose pliers and a pair of chain nose pliers. We are going to start first by doing the dagger bangle. So take your tube of dagger beads and dump them out on your table here. And take 1 coil of memory wire. All 3 are identical, so it doesn't matter which one you start with. It should be about 1.5 loops. So to one end, you're going to take your round nose plier and you're going to make a simple loop. Place your tool and you're just going to wrap it inwards, creating a little loop. And just for extra security. So at one end, you have a loop that is going in towards the memory wire. So now moving to the other side, we are going to start to pick up our beads. And these ones can be a little tricky. They are glass beads, so just be patient and you'll just keep adding beads one at a time until you have filled up your memory wire. And you can just slide it all the way down there to the end and keep adding. You may find it easier to pick up the beads as you go. So another way you can do this is just to pick them up and slide them on one by one. This can be a little bit more tedious, but sometimes it makes it actually a little faster depending on the beads. Okay, as you come to the end, you'll notice that if you push them down really tight, they'll be a little bit more stiff. The effect that we want to get for this bracelet, or that I prefer, it's up to you, is to have them have a little bit of mobility. So because of that, you will not be adding beads all the way to the very tip. So you'll add beads. I'll probably need at least a few more here. You'll want to leave a little bit of room to make your wire loop. So I think that is just about as far as I want to get. So I am now going to take my round nose pliers again, take the wire and make a simple loop, bending it in towards the memory wire loop. And you'll notice that I have a little bit of slack there. Make sure your loop is closed. Just pinch it together. There we go. And you'll notice I have a little bit of slack, but when I let the beads go, now they can move around a little bit. And that is the completed dagger bracelet. So I'm going to go ahead and set this aside. And you'll notice that I do have several daggers left over, so you can actually use that in a different project. Or I noticed that some of them didn't have their hole drilled through, so you'll have plenty to play with. Clean that up and go ahead and set that aside. For the next bracelet, we are going to be making the color block charm version. So again, take another loop of your memory wire and you're going to do the same thing. You're going to make another simple loop using your round nose pliers, bending it in towards the main loops and nice and tight so that your beads won't slip off. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take our seed bead mix and we're going to separate some of the colors. Now each seed bead mix that you're going to get might vary slightly. You might have slightly more dark blues, slightly more white, or whichever color you've gotten. So now all I'm going to do is just try to separate some of the colors. So I want some clear ones over here, white ones. And you can do this before or after you start. Just depends on what you want to do. And then what I did after separating all of these, I figured out which colors I wanted to use and which blocks. So I'm going to show you how to determine that once you've separated your colors. So now that I have my beads separated, what I'm going to do is just by visual representation, look and see how I want to do my color blocking. For this one, I did 10 beads each and just kind of a random pattern around. The great thing about this kit is when you get it, you don't have to do the color blocking. You can do 2 that are mixed up. You can do 1 that's all one color. It is entirely up to you. So I'm going to start though, and I'm going to try to replicate some of my color blocking. But let's see, I'm going to start with these dark beads here. So go ahead and take the memory wire without the loop and just go ahead and string on 10 beads. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And I'm going to scooch those all the way down the coil to the bottom. And let's see, I think these white ones might look good next to it. So I'm going to pick up 10 of these. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Scooch those down. Let's grab maybe some green ones over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And you just keep going around and determining which colors you like. I'm going to do some more of these blue ones over here. If you want to do the color blocking version, I recommend that you do it first. It might seem counterproductive to separate all of them and then remix them, but if you do it this way, you'll be able to see how many you have, so you won't sort of bead yourself into a corner by not having the right amount of beads to complete a set of 10 in the color that you wanted. So I recommend, if you want to do the color blocking, to do it first. There's 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And we're getting pretty close to the end here, so let me try to do maybe one more round of 10 and see where we're at. 7, 8, 9, and 10. My beads are already getting a little mixed up, but that's okay. All right, it looks like I have just enough for another set of 10 here. So I am going to do the dark beads here, just the same as we started. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, it looks like I have a little bit extra, so I'm going to go ahead and do maybe 5. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Looks like I'm only going to get 4. Still have the same color blocking effect. I just ended with 4 as opposed to 10 because I'm trying to hold on to that end there. Now with these bracelets, you do want to get your loop close to the end because you don't want the beads to slide around. So again, take your round nose pliers and you're just going to bend your loop in and get it nice and tight there and close it completely so that your beads don't slide off. Now for the next part of this, I'm going to take one of my jump rings and one of my charms, and I'm going to take my round nose and my flat nose pliers. I'm going to open this jump ring, slip on my charm, and add it to one of the ends of the memory wire. And now all I'm going to do is get my plier in there and take my other plier and close up that jump ring nice and tight. And then this bracelet is finished. So I'm going to add that to my stack, and for the next bracelet, we're going to repeat the same process. And now you can mix up all those beads that you spent all that time separating. So now we have a nice mix of our beads again, and we have our piece of memory wire. Same thing, we're going to take our round nose pliers and we're going to make our loop at the very end. Bend it in towards the wire and close it up nice and tight. Make sure it sits flat. You can just sort of pinch it. And now, this is the easiest one because we're just going to go through and we're just going to pick up a random assortment of beads, just however we want. And just slide them down and keep going like this until you are all the way to the other end. You can pick them up in any order you like. Or you can do another color blocking one. You can have two that are color blocked. It's entirely up to you. Okay, so now let's pick up my last bead. I think I want a little more slack than that. So I have about that much room left on my bracelet. Take your round nose plier and go ahead and bend your loop in. Nice and tight there. Because you want it to be able to hold that jump ring, so go ahead and pinch it if you need to. And then there's the bracelet. And now, for the final touch, we are going to add one last charm. So again, taking your chain nose pliers and your round nose pliers, go ahead and open that jump ring. Slip on your charm and add it to the loop of memory wire. Close your jump ring and you are all finished. So now we have completed the 3 stacking bangles, and I'll show you what they look like. So you can add 1 and 2 and 3. And these will move around. You can flip the charms around. You can also add these to other bracelets. But that is how to make the Harmony Bangle Trio kits.